What is up, VC? How we doing? Happy summer. Hope everyone's having a great kickoff to the summer. I'm actually filming this on the 4th of July. So happy 4th of July, America. And have fun at work today, England. Sorry, just kidding. I love all my English viewers. There's quite a few over there, I think, which is awesome. But no, really, in all seriousness, happy summer. I hope you guys are all having a great start to it. I've had a ton of insanity going on in my personal life, so it's been a minute since I've done a pickup and spins video. So I wanted to just get some things that have been regularly making the rounds when I have been able to listen to music lately, which hasn't been as often as I would like, but there's been enough time in between my last pickup and spins video where I can put some stuff together that has made its way across my turntable. And I have some really cool stuff to share. In the meantime, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's great to see you here. And if you're revisiting, glad to see you back. And if it's your first time watching a video of mine, welcome. My name's Adam. I am in a band called The Freight. And I like talking about vinyl records and equipment sometimes too. And yeah, this video series is called Pickups and Spins. And I'm going to talk about some recent pickups and just what's been on my turntable. Okay, here we go. To start, this isn't a new acquisition. I've had this for a while, but it just came back across my turntable. Was in a foreigner type mood. This is the Analog Productions Atlantic 75, cutting of 4. This is Ryan K. Smith mastered. So good. This record is so good. Jukebox Hero on this is, man, is it good. The fidelity on this record is fantastic. All the foreigner Atlantic 75s have been just lights out good. Cut by Ryan K. Smith, who's a favorite of mine. Can't recommend this one enough, and it's really excellent. Next, this is a fantastic compilation of the sounds of the Three Blind Mice. Three Blind Mice is a label, Japanese label that has some of the best, just, how do you say it? Popular jazz, for lack of a better term. It's definitely not smooth jazz. It's hip shit. It's like really, there's some incredible musicians that are playing, but they do a lot of, like, you have some cover songs here. Like, you know, When a Man Loves a Woman and things like that, but it is done in the hippest possible way. These musicians are incredible. If you don't know about the Three Blind Mice, you really need to check this out in the music that's affiliated with all the people that are involved in this. You can search it out and find all the musicians and the amazing records that are a part of this. All of it that I've heard has been fantastic, and this is a great way to sort of get a lot of bits of it. Really, really incredible. This is an Impex release. Really awesome stuff. Sound quality on this is lights out incredible. So this is also, like, you know, fantastic sounding. Can't recommend that enough. That was a really great listen to get that back on the table. I also went back and listened to this again. I did a standalone review of this. This is the Mobile Fidelity latest release of Stone Temple Pilots, Tiny Music, Vatican Gift Shop. So good. I really like this. Now, I've heard a lot of other people in the vinyl community talking about how it's not as good as an original, and I'm sure that's true. I didn't have an original to compare it to. I only had this. So I you know, in a CD. So as far as a high quality reissue of this, you know, I don't think you can go wrong. This is less expensive than what you would pay for an original from the 90s, as far as I know. And this is not something that you would be, in my opinion, wanting more. I really enjoyed this record. I thought it was a great reissue. No issues with it on my end at all. I thought it was really good. The one critique I had on this record was that Scott Weiland's vocals were a little laid back for my taste. And I think maybe that was some of the things that the people said who preferred the original pressing from the 90s, was that, you know, the vocals obviously more life, more energy up front, which I could totally understand. But this is a fantastic record, and I am psyched to have this copy. It sounds great, and, you know, you don't know what you don't know. Like, I don't have an original, so I'm psyched to have this in my collection because it's one of my favorite STP records, one of my favorite records from the '90s. So I'm more than happy to have this in the collection. And it's definitely worth it if you're kind of on the fence, and if you're in that boat of not going to spend $200, $300, $400, whatever it goes for the '90s pressing. Um, I mean, you can spend 60, which is still a lot of money, but it's a you won't be disappointed with it. Let me put it that way. It sounds great. All right, this next one, I was actually really excited. I've known about it. I've heard it maybe through streaming periodically. Never paid too much attention to it, but it has been a record that I've wanted to check out and been very interested in acquiring for a couple of different reasons. This is the self-titled Dennis Wilson album from the Beach Boys, obviously. This is a sought-after record. It's like a $50 or $60 record, and it showed up at my local just randomly. So it's one of those ones that opens this way, but it's actually the full length like that. Dennis Wilson obviously tragically died in the '70s. This, I believe, is his only solo album. I put this on, and holy smokes, what a record this is. This is a no joke, real deal record that clearly has some fantastic musicians playing on it. The sound quality of this record is amazing. The music on this is amazing. Really well-crafted songs that are that have that tinge of the Beach Boys sound, not overly Beach Boys. It's very unique, and I'm really glad to own this. This was cool. I think I paid around what it goes for on Discogs. I want to say $45 for it, $50 for it maybe, and it's in beautiful condition. Excellent record. Definitely one worth checking out if you're into that kind of thing. That sound, it's got that beautiful harmonies, all that stuff going on. Okay, this next one, this is, talk about cheap heat. This is Larry Carlton, Alone But Never Alone. This is the MCA Master Series. So I don't know all the details about MCA Master Series. I believe it's some type of audiophile, back in the '80s there, sort of redo of albums or pressing of albums that have, that high quality sound thing going. Anyway, this particular record, Larry Carlton, if you don't know, is one of the best guitar players in the world, and has been since the '70s. He has played on, tons of Steely Dan tracks. He's played on, Toto and all these huge bands that you know and love, and recordings that you know and love. Larry Carlton has played on. He is an incredible musician. Just really, really beautiful. This particular record I wasn't familiar with. Alone But Never Alone. This is him playing acoustic guitar mainly on this. And my God, is it beautiful. Beautiful music here. And this is, you can see on here, it says, the Master Series. So it's, when I looked it up, when I put it in Discogs, and it did say like how great the recording quality was and how great the sound of this record was. And I cannot overstate how incredible this record sounds. It's beautiful, like sort of nylon string acoustic, but it's got some string arrangements in there. It's got some cool '80s sounding, very light synth things going on that are just amazing. A really, really incredible sounding record. And it was like $8. I highly recommend checking this out. This is fantastic. If you know Larry Carlton, you already know this record well. I know Larry Carlton, and I did not know this record, and I'm really happy to have it. It's incredible. Really fantastic. All right, next. So keeping, I guess, in that kind of acoustic, jazz-ish, fusion-ish realm, this is Bob James and Earl Klo, one-on-one. Now, Earl Klo, whatever you think about Earl, he definitely went on in the '80s to do the significant smooth jazz thing. I don't have a problem with smooth jazz. I actually really like it. I enjoy sitting down and throwing on a smooth jazz record from the 80s and just, vibing with it and enjoying it for what it is. This is a bit before that. This is probably, I want to say it's the early 80s, very early 80s. So it has that transition, but this is one CBS Half Speed Remastered. I actually just had this on this morning. This is a beautiful record, and this has some heavy hitters on it. So let me just go through who's on here. Ron Carter, Harvey Mason, Ralph McDonald, Gary King, Neil Jackson. I mean, Ron Carter alone is one of my favorites, and his bass playing on this is just incredible. Really, this is a beautiful, spacey's the wrong word, but like vibey, airy album with beautiful sounds on it. So if you want to just chill and have a fantastic, musical album that's so enjoyable to put on, this is one. This was very cheap. I want to say it was $8, something like that, $6. Fantastic record. Really great. Sounds incredible. I know sometimes people love the CBS Half Speed Masters. Some people don't like them overall. I mean, I think we've learned by now that it's each record you got to take individually. This, I don't have an original to compare to or anything, but this CBS Half Speed Mastered sounds amazing. Really great. Okay, next. Another studio guitar player here, Eric Gale. Eric Gale, man, this guy plays on, again, tons of records from the 70s into the 80s. This is a fantastic guitar player. This is a really funky record. This one's called Ginseng Woman. You can get this for like $5. It's a very inexpensive record. Sounds amazing. Really incredible sound quality. With like funky guitar stuff, almost metery territory. A lot like, if you're familiar with the band Stuff, a lot like that. Stuff is fantastic. Super funky, super like clean, strat-driven guitar tones that are just playing that funk, laying it down. Awesome stuff. Cheap heat right here. Cheap heat. The last few I just showed here were very cheap heat that you can pick up very inexpensively and sound amazing. This next one, not so much cheap heat. I really paid up for this. This is a record that by a band that I truly love. Government Mule, High and Mighty. Warren Haynes, the lead singer-songwriter of Government Mule. If you know Government Mule, Warren Haynes, who was probably best known for being the guitar player, singer in the Allman Brothers Band when they reformed in the 90s. And, they obviously had tremendous success with Warren in the band. And then Warren and the bass player from when they reformed, Alan Woody and Matt App's drummer, formed a band called Government Mule in the mid to late 90s called Government Mule, and they are fantastic. They're one of my favorite bands. I've seen them, dozens and dozens and dozens of times, along with the Allman Brothers Band. Warren Haynes is probably my favorite musician other than Paul McCartney. Really love Warren Haynes. His guitar playing is just some of the best in the world. His voice is incredible. I love his songwriting. Anyway, this is an album that came out in the sort of early 2000s. Mr. High and Mighty. This is my favorite Government Mule album. It absolutely rocks like you would not believe. This is a rock and roll album. Kicks so much ass. It was only released in Europe, so I had to kind of hunt it down, and I waited for it to come, to a reasonable price. But I still paid, over $100 for this because it's a very hard to find record. And it was only released in Europe, not in the U.S. So I was very happy to get a copy of this, and I put it on the turntable, and it sounds really great. So I was very happy because obviously, you never really know what you're getting into when you get a record that's from the 2000s, but it sounded awesome. Really great record. I'm psyched to have this. Government Mule, Mr. High and Mighty, fantastic record. Stoked to have that one in the collection. Okay, these next two, I'm going to talk about these in a pair just because they're very unique. They're unique in the fact that they're very new. These just came out in the last few months, but they're by the same artists, and these are both reissues, high quality reissues by Intervention Records. All right, Intervention Records has been doing some killer stuff. They're the ones that did like the Green Day One Steps and the couple of the other one steps recently. I forget Linkin Park and those kinds of things. But they've done, and they've been doing some really, really high quality stuff. So 2 Joe Jackson releases. All right, now you say Joe Jackson. You can find this one in any $5 to $10 record store. That's what you're gonna find is a copy of Night and Day. And then this one, Body and Soul. I'm showing these together because they're the same artist, but Joe Jackson has a really interesting career span. He's got that. I really like Joe Jackson. He's late 70s into the 80s. He has some badass music. Really kind of part of that original new wave thing that's coming on, and then into the 80s, kind of evolved with that new wave thing. But he has elements of such hip jazz music in his compositions. And this one, this one I think came out maybe like a month ago. This one is actually double cut, 45 RPM. Sounds amazing. This was cut by Kevin. This one's really unique. Cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio. Okay. What's interesting about this, and it tells you right here, this was cut from PCM Digital, and it was recorded to PCM Digital back in, I forget the year, early 80s. But the deal with PCM Digital is very interesting. It was the early days of digital recording, and it was this whole process from beginning to end, actually. So you actually recorded. PCM was like an interface, like a way to record music. It's not like it's different than recording digitally now. It was its own like entity. Recording PCM was like a big deal. So this was recorded PCM, so which was like revolutionary at the time. And then what they did was they took the original PCM files, and Kevin Gray remastered it. They said he, at no added compression, all, cut it the way Kevin Gray cuts things, and this is really great. This is a great sounding record. 2 45s, awesome gatefold, beautifully done. This is really, heavy duty stuff. This pressed at Got a Groove Records, high quality all the way around. Intervention Records is doing really nice stuff, and if you're into the reissues thing, I like reissues. I have nothing against reissues. I do both originals and reissues. Check these out. The Intervention Records has some really high quality stuff. Go on their website. They have some really cool releases. The next thing they did, which was this is not cut at 45, but it's cut at 33. But man, does it sound good. It sounds really good. I had an original copy of this that sounded pretty good, and I compared them. I did prefer this one. This is, a 33 RPM record. It's 100% analog from the master tape, mastered by Kevin Gray, Coherent Audio, and it's excellent. It really is. It's excellent. I loved it. This has that hit Stepping Out on it. Again, I love Joe Jackson. He's got these elements of really hip jazz mixed with that new wave thing. Really hits a sweet spot for me, his music. So really enjoy that. All right, just got 2 more to show you. This was just a purchase for me that I had to get. I never had a copy of this. Originals are a little pricey. This is probably my all-time favorite movie. It's top 5 at least. You know what I mean? This and Say Anything's probably up there for me too. But Empire Records, if you know, you know. If you grew up when I grew up, man, this movie was everything to me. I loved this movie. I've seen it 100 times. My God, just connected with me on so many levels. And the music on this is really great. Now, this isn't by any means the best sounding record I have in my collection, but it hits the right spots. You put it on and you're jamming, and it's all good. Gin Blossoms, The Cranberries, Edwyn Collins, that song, Girl Like You, Toad the Wet Sprocket, all these awesome things. And then that song Sugar High, that was from that they did in the movie. It's a cool release, and it's on yellow and green. There's the green. There's the yellow. There's the cover. Again, Empire Records. Just, if you haven't seen the movie, God, treat yourself and watch the movie as soon as you possibly can. What a freaking movie this is. Yeah. And the last one just that's been spinning, I got a new phono preamp, which I'm going to do a video about. And I wanted to put on a record that I knew really well, and this is what I put on. Our record, The Freight Tales of Maybe, pressed at Fidelity, cut from tape by Ryan Smith. Something that we're super proud of, that you can buy, all those things, blah, blah, blah. This isn't a sales pitch. It's just I really have been using this because I know, obviously I recorded it, so I know the music really well, and I know what it's supposed to sound like, and it's really helpful to have something like that to test equipment, because I can, I know, when there's a little percussion thing here or a little something there that's supposed to be there that I want to hear, I can test it on the equipment, and I can really hear the differences that way. So that's super helpful. And it's always helpful to use recordings that you know when you're testing new equipment. So there you have it. Pickups and spins. I hope you guys all have a fantastic 4th of July. If you don't do 4th of July, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Hope you have a great summer, blah, 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 blah. I'm really happy you stopped by. I hope you saw something that you might be interested in. Leave a comment and let me know if you know any of these records. You're picking some stuff up. Let me know. Let me hear about it. All right. Hope you guys have the best weekend. I will see you again very soon. All right. Peace.